Good morning, all of you. Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we'll be analyzing all the important topics for 11th of June 2023. So let's start with the analysis, taking up all the important topics and the articles. So terror module with links to IS group busted and 4 people have been held. So this is an important topic from the perspective of internal security, GS3 paper. So Gujarat's anti-terrorist squad arrested 4 persons who have been allegedly linked to the international terror outfit Islamic State of Khorasan province in Porbandar and Surat. So Army Air Defense widens the wings. So new China focus and lessons from the Ukraine war shape the modernization plans as India prepares for new threats with better technology. So very beautiful line. So the Indian Army's reorientation from the western borders to the northern borders in the aftermath of the 2020 standoff with China, along with the lessons that the Ukraine war it has given to the world at the global level, and obviously then from the perspective of different countries as per their geographical location. So learning from that, we are transforming the defense forces. So a range of new systems, mostly indigenous, they are being inducted with new technologies factoring in the new realities. So again, you can note down this statement as well, factoring in the new realities. So bringing in all together is a new automation initiative under the project Akash Tir. So which is build definitely which will build a comprehensive air defense picture for the monitoring, for tracking, and for shooting down of the air defense assets. So Navy showcases twin carrier operations in a major upgrade to maritime security. So when we're talking about the defense forces, definitely maritime security, what are the new emerging challenges and how we are preparing to deal with them becomes an important topic again from the perspective of internal security, from the perspective of defense, from the perspective of national security. So as the indigenous aircraft carrier INS Vikrant, it gears up to become fully operational later this year. The Indian Navy has put on display its multi-carrier operations with the coordinated deployment of its INS Vikramaditya and more than 35 aircraft in the Arabian Sea. So this marks a significant milestone in the Indian Navy's pursuit of enhancing maritime security and the projection of its power in the Indian Ocean and beyond. So India looks at devising own standards to assess the socio-economic progress. So we have carried out the socio-economic caste census. You can find out about more in details about it. When did we start with that and how it is carried out? What is the periodicity of it? So country is now actively discussing redrawing the parameters to cater to and accommodate its diversity and the local anthropometric measurements, while some health activists, they say that international data parameters, they must be seen as aspirational, and others have welcomed the change. So that is the update, and let's see what is going to be the final decision. So that would be much more important for us. Talking about transgenic cotton, so 3 states rebuff a directive to test the transgenic cotton. So Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Telangana, they have rebuffed a proposal which was approved by the center's Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee to test a new kind of transgenic cotton seed. So the seed in question was developed by the Hyderabad-based BioSeed Research India, and it contains the gene Cry2AI that purportedly makes cotton resistance to the pink bollworm, and that is a major pest that affects the cotton crop. So the seed has passed preliminary and it is like confined to trials and was recommended by the GEAC to be tested in the farmers' fields at different places in these 3 states. So you need to find out more about GEAC, what are more type of like other GM crops that are commercially cultivated in India, then the concerns related to the GM crops, what are the possible benefits of them? That is an important area. Coming to the world news, so Turkey has been in news for different reasons for the recent election. So the location becomes very important, the surrounding water bodies or seas which are located around Turkey, the countries which are sharing border with Turkey, that becomes important. So you need to know about this Nord Stream pipeline. So the Nord Stream sabotage probe turns to clues inside Poland. So location of Poland, again, important thing. And then Nord Stream connects which areas, even that is important. So intense fighting in Ukraine as last nuclear reactor is shut down amid the flooding. So recently we've been seeing that a dam has been damaged, and because of that, it has caused flooding in the surrounding areas. And this disaster, definitely there is a nuclear angle to it as well. So we can't miss out on that. And then you need to find out about different nuclear plants which are located in Ukraine. And one of them, which has been in news a lot, is also mentioned Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, which is the Europe's largest plant. And now it is occupied by the Russian forces. So this was even asked in this year's prelims as well. So clean energy deal with India has opened a new door coming from the Nepal's prime minister. And yesterday we took up this topic in detail. So we've already covered this area. So talking about hydrogen, green hydrogen, there's blue hydrogen, gray hydrogen. So you need to know about the difference between all of them, what are the different processes that are involved in order to produce the respective type of hydrogen. So here IITM generates hydrogen from seawater using the solar energy. So there are different types of techniques of producing hydrogen. So one of them has been discussed over here. So the researchers, they have optimized all the parameters so that the electrolyzer can directly use the photovoltaic derived voltage to split the seawater and then generate green hydrogen. So one method of generating green hydrogen is electrolysis. Here we're talking about the second method, which we are like using seawater to generate green hydrogen. So here we have the entire process in detail. So the electrolyzer uses alkaline seawater and the carbon-based support material that has been developed by IIT Madras team, and it is used for the anode and the cathode to prevent corrosion. Then the transition metal-based catalyst developed by the team is used for coating the support material of the electrodes. And thirdly, the catalyst enhances the production of hydrogen and oxygen even when impurities and the chemical deposition takes place on the electrodes. Then a cellulose-based separator that has been developed in-house is very economical, and it allows the hydroxide ions to pass through but prevents oxygen and hydrogen from crossing over. So savanna biomes located in the African continent, you need to find out about where are like what are the other different types of grasslands and their location. Coming to the FAQ page, where we have important topics. So what is happening to Arctic sea ice? And why will even reduced carbon emissions not be able to stop the ice from melting in the summer? So, why is Arctic sea ice so important for us? So, the massive sheets of ice that pad the Arctic region, they play major role in influencing the global climate and the rise and fall in the Arctic sea temperatures. So during winters, the sea ice envelops most of the Arctic Ocean, and in summer, a portion of it melts down due to being exposed to longer periods of sunlight and elevated temperatures. So it's a normal thing. So sea ice, it normally melts and is at its thinnest and most sparse in mid-September time, when the area covered by ice is roughly half the size of the winter maximum. So with the onset of winter and dipping temperatures, the ice begins to expand and thicken all the way until March when it reaches its zenith. So that has been a normal process that has been followed over the years naturally. So United States Environment Protection Agency, they explain the importance of sea ice, thus saying that sea ice is light colored and therefore it reflects more sunlight back to the space. So here we're talking about the albedo effect. So it is reflecting more amount of sunlight back to space than the liquid water. So thus playing a vital role in keeping the polar regions cool and maintaining the Earth's energy balance. So this is an important topic from geography, Earth's energy balance. Then sea ice also keeps the air cool by forming a barrier between the cold air above and the relatively warmer water below. So as the amount of sea ice that is decreasing or it decreases, the Arctic region's cooling effect gets reduced. And this may initiate a feedback loop kind of thing, which would be like basically things would be accelerating further on its own. So, whereby the ocean warming caused by more absorption of the solar energy leads to an even greater loss of sea ice and further warming. So, definitely, the changes in the sea ice will also affect the biodiversity and impact the mammals. Then reduction in the ice cover, it also affects the traditional subsistence hunting lifestyle of the indigenous Arctic population. You can see the names have been mentioned over here. And on the other hand, reduced ice can present commercial and economic opportunities. So here, the Arctic Council, that becomes important. So you need to find out more about the members of Arctic Council, its main purpose. So that is the important details regarding the Arctic ice. Then here we're talking in detail about how does the rail interlocking system works. So that is because of the recent accident that was witnessed in Odisha. Actually, this is not so very important for us, but the broader topic is definitely important about the rail safety. What is what are the steps that we've already taken, and definitely that is not sufficient to ensure the rail safety, and what are other things that we're working upon. And we've also discussed in detail the Kavach system, so that is also an important technology. Why are crypto exchanges in the line of fire? So why has the US Securities and Exchange Commission cracked down on the top crypto exchanges like Binance and Coinbase? What are the allegations regarding trading practices and why are they facing legal action in US? So how have both the companies responded to this? So the allegations includes that the crypto exchange led billions of dollars of investors' funds, and they were routed them to a company in Europe, which was basically it is misusage of the funds of the consumers. Now the amount was transferred and it was used for some other purpose for own personal interest by the CEO. So this was even witnessed earlier as well in the FTX case. So we are again seeing those things happening, and definitely this is more from the perspective of USA, so that's why we're not taking it much into detail, but we just need to understand the basic thing. So the regulators' actions, they will spook the traders who use Binance's services but wish to invest in crypto assets legally. So, here you need to be more aware about crypto in the context of India, what are the legal actions that have been taken, and what is the point of view of the government, of RBI, of SEBI regarding crypto regulation and the legality of cryptos in India. So again, talking about the Ukraine war. So water as a weapon, you can see this dam and the damaged area. So this is the dam on the Dnipro River, and it has flooded the front line in southern Ukraine, forcing both the sides to evacuate thousands of civilians and the troops. So government asks the CERC to couple the power exchanges. Again, we took up this topic yesterday in detail. So coupling the power exchanges is to ensure there is uniformity in the energy price discovery across multiple trading platforms, and the move is expected to bring down the power tariff significantly by the Indian Energy Exchange. That has pointed out that in India, all the regions are already coupled and the country has one market and one price. So we are working towards establishing a single energy market. So the Central Electricity Regulatory Authority has been asked to initiate the process of coupling the multiple power exchanges. And India has three power exchanges. One is IEX, then PXIL, and then HPX. So as of now, buyers and sellers who trade energy, they discover the spot prices separately at different power trading platforms. So we are like moving towards establishing more uniform price discovery mechanism. So Finance Ministry is on the same page with RBI for the current financial year's growth forecast. And yesterday, we also talked about the Chief Economic Advisor's viewpoint regarding the universal basic income and definitely his point of view regarding how the Indian economy is functioning. So Titagarh rail systems to raise around rupees 288 crores. So it is like so the board of directors of the Titagarh Rail Systems has approved raising of funds through the preferential issue of up to 76 lakh equity shares of the face value of rupees 2 each to the Small Cap World Fund, which is a part of the Capital Group and one of the largest financial investors. Coming to Financial Express, so here, India Inc. it shakes up the policies to be more queer friendly. So, what possible changes can be done? So, corporate initiatives, here there are certain examples have been mentioned. Then, Accenture, it has an internship scheme also, which is going to help build a talent pool of the transgender people to assess the prospective candidates for full-time roles. Then, another initiative is by PNG offices. They have this Gabble affinity group network to sensitize the staff on various issues. So Water Warriors, Indian Navy showcases its maritime prowess in a mega operation in the Arabian Sea with a display of multiple warships and aircraft carriers, INS Vikramaditya and INS Vikrant as the centerpieces. Unemployment rate falls to 7.7% in May. So this is due to decline in the labor participation as per the data, and employment rate in India among the people aged 15 and above, it fell to 7.7% in May from 8.5% a month before. and it inched down as a consequence of fall in the labor force participation rate, which implies a fall in the number of people who entered the labor market in search of work. So, because of that decline, we are seeing unemployment is falling. So, in a way, it is not sustainable because if it would have been falling because of more number of job opportunities being offered by the public or the private sector, then we would have like think that something real is happening. But this is a temporary reason behind the fall in the unemployment rate. Then Biparjoy cyclone may miss Gujarat as per IMD. So here we have already taken up the topic that how cyclones they are named, what is the exercise, what are different groups that have been formed, and then climatic conditions which lead to the formation of cyclones, even that becomes important. So Apple's Vision Pro, what technology is it using? Virtual reality, augmented reality, that is important for us. So that's how it looks. So disordered eating, which encompasses a range of abnormal behaviors that resemble eating disorders but do not meet the diagnostic criteria, is becoming a health concern. So this is an important topic from healthcare, especially this is happening in kids and adolescent population. So growing concerns have been mentioned here in this chart. So disordered eating, it may refer to occasional reliance on food as a coping mechanism or deviations from one's regular eating patterns in specific situations or circumstances. On the other hand, in eating disorder, it involves a clinical diagnosis indicating a pervasive problem that extends beyond the occasional behaviors or the tendencies. So symptoms includes avoiding certain food groups, binge eating, then extreme dieting, changes in the weight, emotional eating. So these are all the keywords. So this is, I would say, a very, very important topic. And the things have been put up very nicely using the keywords like disordered eating. What do we mean by it? That has been explained in very simple words and short. Then emotional eating, that is again very relevant thing in present times that we see around us. So disordered eating, it can also include abnormal behaviors and patterns similar to eating disorders like cleanses, diet pills, excessive exercise, and laxative abuse. So the proportion was further, it was elevated among the girls, the older adolescents, and those with higher body mass index. So you need to know about just the basic things about the body mass index. So rather than following a restrictive eating pattern, eating mindfully when you are hungry and following an intuitive eating is the key to keep yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally healthy. So mindful eating is much more important rather than emotional eating or disordered eating. Coming to Indian Express newspaper. So let's take up only the points that are not non-repetitive. So here directly we have the world page first. So Zelensky says that counter-offensive is on and Kyiv claims new gains in the Bakhmut region. So all the important regions that come the news from the context of Russia-Ukraine war, that is important for us to have a clarity about where are they actually located, their north-south chronological ordering, east-west ordering, important rivers that are flowing, important dams, other important water bodies like lakes which are there in Ukraine, nuclear power plants. All these are very, very important for us. So we've already taken up all these topics. These are completely a repetition of them. So that's why I'm not taking them up again. So that's all for today. And since it is Sunday, so we didn't have much important articles, but we have taken all of them which were there from the context of the relevance from the syllabus of the UPSC examination. So that's all. Thank you so much for joining us, and do subscribe to the channel and hit the like button for this video.